Welcome. Today we are stepping into the dark, defiant, and brilliant world of one of the greatest poems ever written, That Be Not Proud. Written in the early 1600s, which is included in Holy Sonnet 10. This poem is not a lament or a cry of fear. Instead, it is a direct mocking challenge to the ultimate shadow that haunts humanity, death itself. The mind behind this fearless confrontation belongs to this man, John Donne. Donne lived a life of intense passion, deep struggle, and eventual religious devotion. He was a man who looked right into the eyes of morality, plague, and loss, yet refused to bow down. But he didn't just write ordinary poetry. Donne is celebrated as the absolute father of metaphysical poetry. But what does this actually mean? Metaphysical poets didn't just write about simple feelings, they used highly intellectual ideas, clever wordplay, and startling, unusual comparison to dissect the deepest mysteries of the universe, like love, faith, and what happens to the soul after we die. Now let's start with the poem That Be Not Proud. That be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou thinkst thou overthrow, die not poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. Looking at the opening line, that be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. John Donne uses apostrophe, which means talking directly to an abstract object to personify death. So he turns death into a proud, arrogant person standing in the room, making it small enough to argue with. Dunn tells Death that its terrifying reputation is a lie. Even though they think it overthrows, defeats people, those people don't actually die forever. So, and that cannot truly destroy the speaker either. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure than from thee much more must flow. And soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and souls' delivery. Donne uses a metaphysical conceit, a clever, unexpected comparison here. He says rest and sleep are just minor pictures, imitation of death. It's like a copy of death. So, since a good nap gives us pleasure, the real thing must bring even more peace and relief. So, he even adds that the best men often die young because they deserve to rest their weary bones and have their soul delivered to heaven sooner. Thou art slave to fate, chances, kings, and desperate men, and those with poison, war, sickness dwell, and popular charms can make us sleep as well. And better than thy stroke, why swellest thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more, that thou shalt die. Dunn rose death by stripping it of its authority. Death isn't a king, it is a slave that has to wait for fate. Furthermore, death hangs out with terrible roommates like poison, war, and diseases. Finally, Dunn points out that drugs like poppy or magic spells like charms can put us to sleep even better than death can. So Dunn is trying to mock death by comparing it to drugs and magic spells by saying that those things could put me to sleep even better than you can. So why is death puffing its chest with pride? Why are you so arrogant? Why are you filled with pride? The last two lines is the ultimate paradox because of Donne's Christian faith in the afterlife and resurrection. Death is just a brief transition. Once we wake up in eternity, we can never die again. Therefore, because there will be no more dying in the heaven, death itself is the one that ultimately dies. I hope this breakdown helped you see past the archaic language to the bold human voice underneath. If you found this analysis helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the classics. Also, I would love to hear your thoughts. Did you find Dunn's argument convincing, or do you have a different view about the relationship between life and death? Please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.